buddy. You're gonna be a star. That's probably good. Still a cool shot of him just sitting watching the world go by. So that's kind of what I go for. Go for the wow factor of just something new, you know.
That is how budding marine biologist and influencer Carmel Serbin shares his aquarium hobby with the world. The UGA students' oddball fish have captured the attention of Instagram users. He has over 5,000 followers, and his posts receive up to 500,000 views. Today, he allows us into the space where the magic happens.
Just show me around. Tell me, what is this?
So this is a freshwater tank. This was what I started with. It's my very first aquarium that I ever did.
So what fish do you have in here?
I actually have a lot of Amazon fish, especially these little blue guys that are super colorful. They're called neon tetras.
And what are these bigger guys?
They're called German blue rams. I give them goofy names. So she is a ram, so her name is Ramantha. And the boy's name is Ramathy.
As Carmel's aquarium collection expanded, so did his creativity, and an influencer was born.
If you'll follow me, this is my saltwater tank, and this is probably my favorite aquarium that I've ever had. It's the biggest one that I've had, and it's just so unique. It has so many different parts to it, and corals and fish and everything. I just love it.
He doesn't mind sharing his bedroom with his fish mates, as he manages his hobby on a college student budget. His 40-gallon saltwater tank cost him $500, compared to the usual thousands.
And that's mainly because a lot of people that keep saltwater are into keeping these sort of designer corals. And that's sort of something that I wanted to go against. I wanted to show that, you know, anyone can do this. Anyone can have an aquarium that's super awesome, and they can do it for less than what most people actually think.
This can-do attitude and humility have garnered Carmel unexpected support and have attracted a community of cheerleaders around him. He is a member of the Atlanta Reef Club, an aquarium keeping group helping him succeed.
People find out that I'm a college student, I'm into biology and ecology, and they're like, oh, that's awesome. They'll give me corals and stuff like that.
This serpent sea star that Carmel released into the tank during our visit is his most recent addition. We had a front row seat to the releasing ceremony.
It's not really good for them to stay out of the water because they have what's called a water vascular system. And the way they move is by pumping water through their bodies. And now he's going to want to hold on to my hand because it feels safe.
As exciting as his collection was, there was one particular fish that Carmel had his heart set on to be content.
I waited a long time, and I did a lot of research. I looked at probably every seller of Caribbean fish that I could find on the internet, and eventually I got onto a bunch of waiting lists, and I sat around, and finally one became available.
Meet Gecko, the Atlantic sailfin blenny, the fish that changed Carmel's life and put him on the specialty hobby influencer scene.
Kind of started my idea. I was like, let me make videos on this fish that nobody else has, and it just sort of grew from there. I like him more because of his behavior and how unique he is, and you'll see he'll come out and do this super awesome thing where he'll flash his fins out and he'll come up and swim, and that's where the name of my Instagram account, Gecko's Reef, comes from.
But to be clear, this sailfin blenny is not the only gecko in Carmel's life.
I have Gecko the fish, but what if I also had Gecko the gecko? So if you want, I can go and see if I can find him.
Meet Wally, the real-life gecko.
I thought that would be kind of ironic to have a fish named after a lizard, and then have a lizard as well that is not named after a fish.
Carmel handmade Wally's new home, a lavish terrarium, on a $200 budget.
I wanted to do it as budget as possible, and I actually showed how much each little bit of it costed, and that to show that you really don't have to spend a lot of money to have success with keeping animals. That's kind of my main thing.
He also enjoys sharing his unique animals and educating his audience.
I definitely try to bring in some education, especially about things that a lot of people haven't seen before. So what are called sort of oddball fish is what they call them. Fish that are kind of weird looking. Most people wouldn't say they're the most aesthetically pleasing, but I really like them.
His audience also enjoys seeing his fish.
I have actually gotten a lot of messages, and a lot of times it'll be because they find something sort of cute, I guess, but it's like the way, how do I equate this? The way a pug is cute. So it's kind of like so ugly, it's cute.
Despite his busy school schedule and life demands, he maintains his connection to his audience and releases content for his page every other day.
Right now, I'll probably just do a full tank shot. I can do it sort of as an update for the people that are wanting to see what's going on with my tank. You know, I give them a little update of everything that's happening.
Carmel's content creation blends nicely with his career goals of marine research, conservation, and advocacy.
Even while I'm working on my lab work or whatever, as I'm studying to get my degree, I can come home and just really enjoy nature for what I see it as being.
He hopes others see what he sees in nature and in Gecko.
If there is a way for a person to relate to a fish, it would be that he's just living his life, you know, watching the world go by. I think if there is a message to come out of it, it's to be calm, to wait for the good to happen in the world, and that everything will be okay.
Gecko is such a strong thread in Carmel's personal and influencer life. Between Gecko the fish and Wally the gecko, and Gecko's Reef on Instagram, it can get confusing at times.
A lot of people call me Gecko. They'll like refer to me as Gecko, and I'm like, no, that's the fish.
Could Carmel himself be the human Gecko?
Just being chill, being calm no matter what's going on. I see that in him. I see that in myself. I don't really let a lot bother me, and I don't think he does either.
In Atlanta, this is Evelyn Farkas, GSU TV.